All over the country, our lives are clogged with clutter. We Brits love to hoard, stuffing countless storage units, choking up our garages, blocking up barns.
Your face has gone all flushed.
They're a record of our dreams.
You're a DJ, you said?
Yeah. Started in 1970.
Past lives.
Oh, some of my mum and dad.
And excess baggage. For many, it's a boxed up burden.
I mean, do you really need all these?
Among the mess and mayhem,
you always got to keep an oily rag.
my mission is to dust off the diamonds.
Between £1,500 and £1,800.
That's a surprise, isn't it?
It is.
Eke out the emotions.
Quite emotional about it, actually.
And clear out and cash up in the process.
280, 300.
Welcome to the world of storage hoarders. Our first hoarder is Katrina and her best friend Diane. A self-confessed hoarder, Katrine's collecting habit is getting out of hand. So, how did it begin?
My great-grandmother, my father, and me were kind of pack rats, or magpies as you call them here. What can I say? I'm a Gemini, and it's a trait. You end up with a hoard of stuff.
Katrina lives near Brighton, East Sussex, which is known for its beaches, creative arts and nightlife. Katrina's hand-me-down hoard has gradually overwhelmed her house.
At one point, I couldn't open the back door more than 5 to 6 inches.
Even though Katrina has made an attempt at clearing some of her stuff, for best friend Diane, it's not enough.
Hi, would you like a cup of coffee?
Oh, I'd love a coffee. I would definitely describe Katrina as a hoarder. She has so many things, I find it even hard to find a place to sit.
Don't laugh, but these are some part of my Laserdisc collection.
Do you have to have a special machine?
You have a Laserdisc player. I used to have one. I could suggest you a perfect model.
But despite the amount of clutter in her home, Katrina can't stop trawling the internet looking for bargains.
I could call her any time, day or night, and she's online, because I feel she has enough junk.
Well, what do you think, Diane?
What is it?
It's a mini fridge with a CD player on top.
You're joking.
So, is Katrina really ready to get rid of her clutter?
I'm focused on decluttering, as long as the items are the ones I'm willing to get rid of.
Diane definitely knows she has a battle ahead of her.
90% of the stuff I would just throw away.
I think she's going to try and make me make some hard choices about items.
I think it will get quite fiery on her side, because it is her stuff after all.
We may clash over a few items, but she's going to be hard and ruthless in her way.
Can I help Katrina to see the error of her squirreling ways and uncover any hidden gems?
Hello, Katrina.
Yes, I'm Katrina. Come on in and see my problem.
Looks all right to me.
Oh, this isn't the problem. The problem's in the other room.
Oh, really? What do you have in that room?
Items from my father, items from my great-grandmother. When she passed away, of course, her stuff remained in the States. I've got a storage over there, and I have no idea what's in it.
Any money that you make from the stuff here, you want to use that to go to the States to sort out your storage there?
Yes.
Wow.
When you're dealing with a family of magpies, this is what you get.
Well, can I have a look?
Of course, come and
Thank
see
you.
the disaster.
I'm sure it's not. Oh my goodness, it's quite a lot of stuff.
Yes, it is a lot of stuff.
So what's in here then?
Well, vintage wine. I've got furniture.
Wow.
I've got paintings from my great-grandmother.
At least you know what you've got in here, don't you?
Yeah, but reaching it is a problem.
I want to get stuck in.
Oh, well, look at this. Here's something from my great-grandmother.
Is this a jewellery box or a sewing box?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sadly damaged.
Aww.
In transit. This Stein, for instance. And
right.
It's 1905. It's military, German. That's as much as I know.
That could be interesting to find out how much that might
It
be
will
worth.
be.
So tell me about this painting.
It belonged to my great-grandmother. And it's a set of 4. They're oils and they're all signed, knowing great-grandmother.
Amazing.
Katrina really does have a heck of a hoard on her hands. Our next hoarder is Patrick and his partner Andrea. Patrick was a plumber who now deals in collectibles. His hoard has taken over his many sheds. So what's the story?
My clutter stems from years of refusing to get rid of things.
Patrick and Andrea live in Newcastle Emlyn, Carmarthenshire. This town in the Tafy Valley can trace its roots back to medieval times, making it the ideal location for this amateur archaeologist.
I enjoy finding out about historical items, the way people used to live, the tools they used to use. When I ceased trading as a plumber and bathroom installer, I had obviously accumulated boxes of tiles, pieces of wood, pieces of tubing, all sorts of things, but the cost of buying them at the time was such that I felt they couldn't be just thrown away. So I've kept them, and unfortunately it means that I have quite a garage full of these materials now.
But the garage full of Patrick's plumbing stuff isn't the only problem. His new career as a dealer in collectibles means that the clutter in his sheds increases monthly.
Accumulating clutter, unfortunately, is also part of Patrick's business. He deals in collectibles, which he buys at auction. We go to auction twice a month. We tend to come back with 4 to 5 cardboard boxes full of things, full of stuff, and at least 2/3 of which will probably end up in some shed.
Andrea is convinced I'm a hoarder. I think she would prefer a far more minimalist lifestyle.
Every time I enter the house and I see all these things standing and lying around, I get so fed up with them.
We need to get rid of the rubbish. Slowly I have been getting my mind around these issues. If I don't act on this, then her patience may become slightly less patient.
I just want them gone. I want them moved on.
Can we convince Patrick that the time is right to give up his hoarding ways and start to declutter his sheds? I've sent Paul Hayes to help convince Patrick now's the time to end his hoarding days for good.
Paul and Patrick.
Nice to meet you.
Very pleased to meet you too. Now, do we say Borodar? Is that what we say?
Borodar.
Well, I must admit, you have a beautiful, beautiful place, and it seems very well organised, very neat and tidy. There doesn't look like much clutter here. Where do you keep all your storage?
I've got several sheds, and I've managed to create clutter in all of them, but there was one particular that's worse than the others.
Well, there's no time like the present, so let's make a start, shall we? Come on then, let's go and have a quick look. Wow, what a gorgeous spot you've got here. This is just one of your many sheds.
It's one of my sheds.
It goes on forever down there. This looks palatial. So what's the idea then? You've got lots of space. I mean, what do you want to do with this sort of unit then?
Well, I've been known as Pat of many projects, and I think the trouble is I've got so many different hobbies. Okay. I collect lots of different things, and I think I've got to start to minimise and specialise.
And do you get a say in this then? Are you going to work out what's going to be in this one?
Well, I'm just to help.
I think you've been very much sort of implementing this sort of this clearing up.
Right, so come on, there's no time like the present. Let's get in there and have a look. All right, here we are. Oh, look at that. Now there's a lot of wine here. Is this all what you brewed yourself then?
Those are bottles waiting for this year's vintage.
Right, so these are all empties.
They're all empties.
Right, I got you. These are ones that you've sampled already. Andrea, no hiding. Come on, you've got to help us in here as well. All right, so look at, hey, I noticed one thing. You got some games. Was that one that you bought or one that you've inherited?
Those I picked up at an auction a long time ago.
It's all about nostalgia. Someone can remember playing with one of these, when they're 8 or 9 years old.
Yes.
They want to buy that back now. They want to recapture that magical game, Yeah. And there's a lot of football fans out there, a lot of toy fans out there. Yeah. So that's a good potential. But you've also got everything in here, haven't you? You've got the doors. Where are the doors from?
They came out of the house. Once they were stripped down, I found there was a lot of damage to them.
Architectural salvage, they call that. That's the posh word. People do buy these sort of things, and they love to have that antique look. If you've got a new house, they add a bit of character to a house. So people do like to have them. So do you come in here and play with your trains, Patrick? Is that something you do?
Only when I'm allowed.
I think we're going to have fun in here.
Well, I hope Paul can keep Patrick on the right track to clearing out. Coming up, Katrina is shocked when she comes face to face with her squirreled away hoard.
This can't be from one room.
And will Patrick really be able to cut down on his hoard?
Chainsaws. I must keep my chainsaws.
Surely not all of them.
Melted goat's cheese.
With red onion chutney and a sprinkling of rocket on a crispy Rivita.
Like posh cheese on toast.
Sesame seed Rivita, now foil wrapped for freshness.
This autumn, find something that fits you perfectly. Like the perfect two-piece. Or three-piece. Something with curves in all the right places. Show off a great pair of legs. Or put on something glittery, then sit back and enjoy the fireworks. Isme.com for fashion, home and electrical.
If you've earned a 5-year no-claim discount, you deserve a brilliant deal on your car insurance. That's why LV Guarantee to give you an amazing 75% no-claim discount. And 1 in 4 drivers could save. Whoa, up to £130 with us. Call our lovely people on 0800 507 507 or go to lv.com.
Hello, welcome to Smart Washing with Calgon. David Coates, you're a scientist with Calgon R&D. Limescale and residue very much part of your job?
Yes, and limescale can be an issue, especially in hard water areas. But even if you don't have hard water, your washing machine may still be at risk. Every wash soapy residues like this could gather and settle in your machine. To demonstrate, we've done some calculations. If in one machine we put Calgon 2 in one, but not the other, after 1 year, in some cases, the machine without Calgon could weigh more.
Because of the residue and the soap?
Yes, the equivalent of what's in this bag could be hidden in your drum and seals.
What does that mean?
Well, in combination with limescale, residues can decrease your machine's performance. The machine can be less effective and it can even lead to a breakdown. As Calgon not only fights limescale buildup, but also residues, it helps protect your machine.
David, thanks very much. And to find out more about the risk of residue buildup, visit the Calgon website. See you again tomorrow.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.
Hair that looks this healthy doesn't happen by chance. It takes devotion and the power of Pro V science. Pantene Repair and Protect and its soufflé with Provitamin B5. The system instantly reverses the signs of damage. For hair so healthy looking, it shines. Pantene. For an extra dose of care, upgrade to Pantene Intensive Repair Conditioner. It's richer in nutrients. Turn visible damage into shine in just 2 minutes. Pantene.
I love my husband, Jeff. I love my girlfriend, Kate. I love swimming. I loathe swimming.
Whoever you are, you could get Cashback Plus rewards just for using your NatWest debit card. Earn at least 1% of your spend in rewards at selected retailers.
And I love my twin sister.
So whether you've been with us for a while or you're just joining us, feel rewarded every day with Cashback Plus. NatWest. Helpful banking.
Season live and free on ITV, ITV4 and online.
Earlier we met Katrina from Sussex, who has 3 generations of hoarding cluttering up her home.
Thank you. It's a disaster. I'm sure it's not. Oh my goodness, it's quite a lot of stuff.
We're also helping ex-plumber Patrick. His new career in collectibles has led to regular buying sprees at rural auctions, resulting in his garage and sheds overflowing.
Wow! That's amazing. There's quite a lot of stuff in there.
Later, I'll be asking our antiques experts to look over their hoards to see if there is anything of value. Our couples haven't got long to clear out and sort through their possessions.
Oh, what are they?
To help our hoarders come to terms with their collections, I've asked them to move everything out to a larger space. Our team of muscle men are also here to give them a hand. I want them to split their possessions into categories. Keep it for those pieces they can't imagine being without, skip it for anything old, broken or just plain awful, or sell it for the items they think could be of value. I've also added a charity area where they can put anything that's too good to chuck. Both our hoarders have emptied their spaces, and with everything out on show, Patrick really did have a shed load of stuff. And Katrine's items look interesting, full of collectibles and possibly valuable family hand-me-downs. It's time for Katrina to come face to face with her squirreling.
This can't be from one room.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, Katrina, it's all yours.
How much stuff did I have in there?
Let's have a look. You can't even move, there's so much stuff. What is that?
That is a Betamax technical briefcase.
Who uses those old things anymore?
They're actually very collectible. That's part of a table.
Where's the table? Do you really need these?
There. No, that's a mirror.
You probably don't even have the table anymore.
I have the table. It should be here somewhere.
Diana has her work cut out here with Katrina and her collection. In West Wales, it's Patrick's turn to get up close and personal with his hoard.
Oh my goodness me, can you believe it?
Does this all come out of that shed?
Oh, I can't believe it. And I mean, look at some of those tins. I haven't seen any of those before. Well, do we still really need all of these?
No, of course we don't.
Actually, we don't even have a video player anymore.
No, these could all go.
And what are these?
Oh, those are cigarette cards.
Oh, look.
Modern beauty.
You should be sorting, not admiring your hoard. Come on, Paul, get in there.
Cigarette cards.
Look at this lot. Oh, they're nice, aren't they? Look at that. Look, more importantly, Patrick, look at this lot. It's amazing. All this has come from that little shed. What's it like seeing it here for the first time for a long time?
Liberating.
You're the first gentleman I've met that has a collection of chainsaws.
It's always useful to have a spare.
Yeah. But actually, just looking at the pile here, I can see some quite collectible items. Okay,
Right,
and it just needs to be sorted through. All right, so I'll leave you two to do that for a minute, and be quite ruthless, and you'll be delighted when you've done it. It'll be a great feeling.
Okay.
All right, so good luck.
Right.
Okay.
Well, where should we start?
These can quite safely go to the skip.
Right.
Well, Patrick seems to be off to a good start. Diane's going to have to ruffle a few feathers if hoarding magpie Katrina is going to let go.
Okay, let's get through it.
Right.
What is that?
It's a model.
It's a boy's model. Girls aren't into submarines.
I bought it on a... I don't know why I bought it.
Oh well, you don't need that.
I don't...
I hope you don't mind.
Right. Are you going to be like this all the time?
Absolutely.
I was afraid of that.
That's the spirit, Diane. I think I'd better give Katrina some moral support.
This looks interesting.
It was of a 1940s, 1930s house, and it is the lamp that used to hang outside the front door. There used to be a pair of them. Unfortunately, the other one got broken.
Tell me, Katrina, when you see all this stuff laid out in front of you, how does it make you feel?
There are a few items which I'm remembering the attachment for. And fond memories of my great-grandmother using the mirror.
This one in front?
Yes.
So where did she live?
She lived in Pisa, Italy. Within sight of the Leaning Tower.
Right.
She had an apartment there.
It's time to let go now, isn't it?
It's time to let go, yes.
First of all, you can put this in the sell pile, which is just behind you.
Oh.
You got to be strong now, Katrina.
Are you sure I couldn't move it to keep pile?
Back in West Wales and among the hoard, they've come across a bit of a sore point.
Chainsaws. I must keep my chainsaws.
But surely not all of them.
Yes.
Why?
Well, we need spares. Yeah, but they're different types.
So?
You see, this is a small chainsaw for small work. That's a big chainsaw for bigger work.
Still only makes 2.
And if one goes wrong...
Yeah, okay then.
You can never have too many chainsaws, can you, Pat?
These are very hard to find in the fact that there's been real demolition or replacement of doors, and so thus they are sought after by everyone, and our most popular selling door.
So in terms of value?
At this current time, we would purchase this door from yourself at £20, and this door here for £10.
Okay.
They're very fine doors. We'd be glad to purchase them for you if that was acceptable to yourselves.
Then we'll take your offer and we'll accept.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Patrick makes his first sale and walks away with £30.
I'm glad to see them go and have some money in my hand for it. That was excellent.
Doors are gone?
Yep, doors
Made
are gone.
a bit of money?
Oh, this is quite heavy.
In Sussex, time's ticking away, and Katrina and Diane must get serious if they're going to sort out everything that they can sell.
Oh, what's this? That is actually for my great-grandmother. It's a ring holder and music box, and she had a few things in it. I was always fascinated by it, and then I discovered it was a music box too, and it became all the more lovely. That's going to be one of the hard things that may just stay on the keep pile. This one is also from the 1930s, 1940s, Red Riding Hood.
Oh, yeah,
and it's even got some costume jewellery still in it.
This looks like it might be ivory. There's some weight to it.
There
isn't
is some weight to it.
So what are you going to do with these boxes?
Unfortunately, this whole pile goes for sale.
Oh, thank you. I'll put it over then. It seems Katrina's starting to get the hang of this decluttering business. In Wales, Patrick too is happy to place things on his sell pile.
Okay, and what about the etching? Did you find out where that was?
That is Doon Castle.
Ah, I know
Scotland.
Doon Castle. Can these be sold, do you think?
Yes.
All right, okay.
Yes.
Well, let's put these in as a lot.
It's not that heavy. No.
It's the final push to find things for the auction.
They're damaged.
Yeah. So, skip.
Skip.
Time's up, so the rummaging must stop.
And that, folks, is that.
Both our hoarders have sorted their items into keep, skip, sell and charity piles. Katrina seems to think everything she has is of value. Her keep pile clearly shows she's still struggling with getting rid of things. And this is evident in her skip pile. Patrick has kept the bare minimum, and his generous spirit is evident in the size of his charity pile. I hope that both our couples have found some valuable treasures in their hoards. After the break, Katrina challenges our expert's opinion.
50 or 80 pounds if you're lucky.
I can't wait for what you say about the other items.
And her fingers are crossed as her lots go to auction. How are you feeling about this one?
Very hopeful.
The new iX35 from Hyundai.
B&Q can help you say goodbye to your unloved rooms. The bedroom he really should have grown out of. The stain that has no shame. And the love nest that's lost its allure. You can do it, Britain. Now's the time to wow your walls. Man up your man cave and make your room feel loved again with the new decor and flooring collections from B&Q. Search unloved rooms today.
Fenton Solicitors is a leading national personal injury firm with experience in every field of personal injury. We ensure you deal with our specialist personal injury solicitors from day one, who will arrange an assessment of your rehabilitation and care needs. Our solicitors secure some of the highest awards for accident victims nationally in areas such as accidents at work, road traffic collisions, asbestos-related illnesses. Free phone Fenton Solicitors on 0800 55 7788 or visit us at fentons.co.uk.
Every year we bring over 20 million people and businesses together.
You can really go, go, go. Jumping fast or rocking slow. I will see you when the band blow.
However ambitious your plans for your dream home, we want to help make them a reality. That's why at HSBC, we're providing more mortgages than ever before.
Shop online at matalan.co.uk to access our biggest ever store. See something you love? Beat the rush and pop it in your basket. Choose Click and Collect to get your order delivered free to your local store, so no need to wait at home all day. With stores nationwide, we can deliver to a Matalan that suits you. We'll text and email to let you know your order's ready to pick up. Collection is easy. Our stores are open 7 days with plenty of parking. Get your style, your size delivered your way. Matalan, shopping that suits you.
Wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style.
100% yes.
The magic that you bring is being you.
The X Factor, Saturday and Sunday at 8 on ITV.
Welcome back to Storage Hoarders, where I'm reuniting hoarders with some old relics. But will we find some treasure among the trash? Earlier, Patrick and Andrea truly embraced the challenge we set them and ended up keeping the bare minimum of items.
They're damaged.
Yeah. So, skip?
Skip.
We also met Katrina and her friend Diane. Katrina finally came face to face with the scale of her hand-me-down hoard.
How much stuff did I have in there?
But she still found it difficult deciding what she should keep or let go of.
Are you sure I couldn't move it to keep pile?
It's time to find out if any of the items that Katrina's kept are of value. Tom Keane's career in the antiques business stretches back over 25 years. His encyclopedic knowledge of art and antiques is why he is our expert today. Tom has had a look at Katrina's things and is ready to share his views.
Well, I want to ask you a couple of questions first, if you don't mind.
Be my guest.
Where did you get the pictures from?
My great-grandmother. And I think they're oil.
But I took one out of the frame earlier.
Oh.
Let's have a little look. Now,
that is very sweet.
Well, I would say it was wonderful.
I think it's a print. If you look at the brush marks, they don't seem to line up. So I think they're over-painted prints. Rather than being worth hundreds of pounds, I think the three of them are worth about 50 or 80 pounds if you're lucky.
I can't wait for what you say about the other items.
Well, this could get interesting.
You've got quite a lot of wine on your wine rack in there.
Yes, I have.
Some of it's gone, isn't it? Meaning it's gone.
Yes.
Maybe not as full as it should be.
Yeah, and that's
evaporated.
Yeah, but that's not saleable now or drinkable. It's gone. Interesting. Spread eagle mark, especially after the war.
Yes,
Isn't it?
1947.
Okay, I think all the wine is ready for a roll of drums between 500 and 1,000 pounds.
2 bottles especially from Germany shortly after the war should fetch that by themselves.
Oh, that's told you, Tom.
Oh, I'll be surprised if that's worth £1,000 a bottle. Let's talk about the dresser.
This belonged to my great-great-grandmother. It's Italian.
I call these kitchen dressers kitchen queens. Let me have a look at it. It's got a nice machine cut dovetails. That sort of puts me back a little bit towards the 40s. It's painted on a pine carcass. The chrome is very, very deteriorated. This sort of furniture is coming very much back into fashion. I think if it's in perfect condition, you might be looking at £2,000 for it. In that condition, at auction, I think you're looking more like 200.
Ooh, 200, no. I would have happily put a reserve on it of 750. It has a lot of sentimental value for me.
But to me, to talk to an auctioneer to take that in, you've got to come down to more like £300, and you're giving it a punt. Even then, it's going to be a bit sort of,
Ooh. Shall we meet and compromise, say 400?
Right, go on then. I'll talk to them for you.
Wonderful.
Despite the difference of opinion, Tom has selected some items to take to auction. The set of varnished prints, which should sell for between £50 and £80. The large collection of wines, which should get between £500 and £1,000. Also going to auction are the 2 bottles of 1947 German white wine, estimated at £2,000. The Italian dresser, which should fetch between £200 and £400. Earlier, we found a German beer jug or stein, which Katrina inherited from her father.
It's 1905, it's military, German. That's as much as I know.
That could be interesting to find out how much that might
It
be
will
worth. This looks an interesting piece, so I've arranged for Tom and Katrina to visit Martin Kemp, an expert in pub antiques, who can tell us a bit more about this stein and its value.
This is quite an interesting one. It's got a broken top, which isn't so good, but it's made of porcelain style material as opposed to stone, which most steins are made out of. This one looks to be military with the eagle on the top and German wording.
Is it unusual, this stein being porcelain?
Yes, it is quite unusual. Normally they're stone, and they're normally sort of brown in colour and more touristy type ones. This looks like it was done for the German market. And this is interesting because there's also a hologram in the bottom of the stein.
I think it's called a lithophane.
Lithophane, that's right. Yeah, see, it's a romantic scene, really, of a couple on a swing, a courting couple on a swing.
A courting couple. I know it says 1903 to 1905. I think that was the regiment's time. But how old is it?
I don't know. It's very hard to tell because there's no marks on the bottom. That makes it difficult. So it could be original from those dates, or it could be a sort of a reproduction from maybe the 1930s, 1920s, 1930s.
Stein is the abbreviation of the German word for stoneware, Steingut. Because German beer jugs were traditionally made of stone, it became common practice to call all beer jugs steins. Over the years, collecting steins has become a popular hobby. Surprisingly, one of the largest producers of beer steins today is Serra Marte of Brazil.
So, how much do you think it's worth?
To me, as a stein, I would say it's 35 to 40 pounds.
I must admit, it's got a lot of sentimental value being my father's, and I'd probably want near a double that.
It's got a broken top. I don't know how much that would cost to get fixed. An auction would be probably the best place because you're likely to get military collectors rather than drinking collectors, because there's millions of steins, but there's not that many military steins.
Well, then I think that I'm going to take your advice. I feel at auction that the stein will make about 60 to 75 pounds. And if it doesn't, well, I don't mind taking it back and drinking my beer out of it.
Well, we're about to find out, as it's now time to head to the auction to see how Katrine's items fare when the hammer falls.
So, Katrina, you've got your kitchen cabinet in auction.
Yes, I've got my kitchen cabinet at auction.
And the wines are here too.
Yes, they are. And the estimate, it has even blown me away.
Tell me what the estimate is.
It's 1,000 to 1,500 pounds.
No.
Yes.
What, for the pair of... No. You are kidding.
I'd put a reserve of 1,000 each with a discretionary, so I was saying if we reach 800-900, go ahead.
So, Katrina, if you totted up everything at the reserve and assuming it all sells, how much you might make today?
I'm looking at about 3,000-4,000 pounds if everything sells.
That would be amazing.
That's the trip to sort out the storage. That's even maybe a week visiting my brother. So, yes.
Dan, how do you feel about all this?
Well, I think it's pretty exciting, really, isn't it?
it?
Yeah, I'm really happy for her.
Auction's about to begin. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
3,500.
There's a lot riding on the sale of Katrine's items at auction today. But before we start, let's hear what auctioneer Matthew Caddick thinks.
The decorative items like the overpainted prints, the more traditional things that we would have customers expecting to see, they ought to sell well. My hopes, though, are that this wine hits the mark for them today, because obviously a lot of their eggs are in that one basket.
First item under the hammer is the overpainted prints, estimated at 50 to 80 pounds.
Start me £100 on these. No bids of £100, I'm going to pass this lot. Surely they're worth £100 for the four. No bids of 100. We're going to move on then. No bids of 100. Not sold.
Disappointing. No bidders on the prints, so they remain unsold. It's time for the collection of wines. Let's hope Katrine's luck is in. Their estimate is between £500 and £1,000.
Someone want to start me £700 in the room, no less? £700 start me for these? No one wants to bid me £700. I'm forced to move on. No one likes these at 700 then. Are we done? No interest at £700.
No one had the bottle to bid. The collection goes unsold. The two bottles of rare 1947 German white wines are next. If these sell, Katrina will fulfill her dream of flying to America to sort out her grandmother's storage unit.
So £1,000 start me for this. Give you a bit of space to think about it. £900 start me. £800, we'll see where it goes. No bids of £800. No one likes it at £800. We're not even close to £800. No interest at £800. I'll pass it.
That was disappointing.
Again, there is no sale. The beer stein also doesn't sell. Now it's time for that kitchen cabinet. Tom and Katrina found it hard to agree on a value. Let's see what the bidders say.
How are you feeling about this one?
Very hopeful.
£300 start me for this. £250 and we'll see where it goes. Somebody bid me £250 for this, right, I'm going to move on. No one likes it, it's at £250 then. A little bit strong on the estimate. Are we at £250? Are we done? not sold.
Well, I keep on advertising it and see what happens.
Such a shame, no sale. Maybe our expert Tom was right.
No. Confidence has been knocked a little bit.
Confidence has
hasn't
been knocked a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking forward to the sale of the wine.
it? Yeah.
I was looking forward to the sale of the 1940s cabinet.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to take that home.
No. But all hope is not lost because you know that your items are eminently saleable and that they've been valued by experts. So you will be able to sell them. It's just today wasn't the day.
But maybe next time, you never know, you might be coming to the States.
Katrina made no money at auction today. After her experience, she should now have a more realistic idea of the price to ask for her items when she sells them in the future. With our help, Katrina did manage to clear out her room and she's well on the way to living a clutter-free life. Still to come, could one of Patrick's items earn him some real brass?
You know what this is?
That's a brass billet mould. That was an item I dug up in my parents' garden.
These do create quite a bit of interest when they come to auction.
And there are mixed emotions on the day.
How are you feeling? Slightly nervous now.
Excited.
Nervous, excited.
£189. That's how low our car insurance prices start from for great drivers like you with 5 years no claim discount. Because LV guarantee that your NCD will be a whacking 75%. For car insurance from a which recommended provider mine from as little as £189. Call our lovely people on 0800 656 656 or go to lv.com.
Nobody knows it all, but we all know a little something. And if those little somethings came together, we could do almost anything. Like windows that turn sunlight into electricity. It may seem like magic, but it's simply chemistry. The same chemistry that can make plastic bags compostable and wind turbines more durable. Good connections today can make for a better tomorrow. That's why we don't just make chemicals, we create chemistry. BASF, the chemical company.
It's that time again. What to have for dinner time. Introducing the Cook with M&S range. Fresh ideas, ingredients and kits to make delicious meals easier. Like seared scallops combined with slices of smoky chorizo. Marinated chicken, spinach, mange tout and peppers in a Thai green curry sauce. Or a juicy British rump steak, transformed with a red wine and herb jus. So go on, Romeo. Make the midweek meal special. Make today delicious.
Excited about the new season? Of course you are. You're only human. Well, what would you say to pay-as-you-go Sky Sports? That's right! A Sky Sports Day Pass from Now TV for just $9.99. All 6 Sky Sports channels streamed live to loads of devices. And now on LG Smart TVs. It's an absolute showstopper! Sensational! Okay, mate, steady on. Pay-as-you-go Sky Sports, only on Now TV. Get your 24-hour day pass for $9.99 at nowtv.com.
People have 2 versions of themselves. A real version and a digital version. Their online version is always sexier, more scintillating, smarter, sportier, and smooth. That's why at Holiday Inn Express we provide our guests with free Wi-Fi when you and your digital self book with us.
Experience the ultimate clean for a healthier mouth. New Colgate Total Interdental releases millions of microparticles deep between teeth and fights plaque and bacteria where brushes can't reach. For the extraordinary feeling of a truly deep clean. New Colgate Total Interdental, a deep clean for a healthier mouth.
Oh, and there it is!
Get 25% off enjoying TV together. Let's make it happen at Boots. Let's feel good.
Oh, hello, fellow cleaning fans. Tis I, One Sheet. Pretty Lady Rachel asks, can plenty clean icky sticky bin lid? Let's see. You see, it's wettable, wringable, strong as bull. Yes! Now it sparkles like the diamond. Have you got plenty wet?
At the weekends, we used to all sit around the telly and watch Surprise, Surprise. And you get to meet incredible people who have done amazing things. Making dreams come true, that's what it's all about.
Catch up on Surprise, Surprise, now available on ITV Player. Ready when you are.
Earlier, Katrina rediscovered some of the hidden treasures she had in her spare room. She took our expert Tom to task for the conservative estimates he was putting on her items.
I can't wait for what you say about the other items.
But was disappointed when she got into the auction room because none of her items sold.
Not sold.
That was disappointing.
Our other hoarder, Patrick, has already sold items to an architectural salvage yard. Now it's his turn to see if any of the other things he had in his shed are worth some money. Our expert Paul Hayes is going to use his 20 years experience with antiques and collectibles to take a closer look at some of the items in Patrick's hoard.
A lot of these items are quite interesting. I mean, you bought a lot of them yourself. I mean, these are lovely. A collection of postcards. Do these all relate to the one person? Were they collected by one individual, or?
They came from various places. A lot of them were for myself in the past.
Okay.
And some came through various collections on the way.
Well, a lot of them are Edwardian, the sort of turn of the century, between 1900 and 1920s.
Right.
The golden age, really. People started to travel around.
Yeah.
They would buy postcards from wherever they visited. Yes. Well, there is a lot of these. I think there's roughly about 1,000. You're looking at least £100 here, and possibly a bit more.
Oh, wow.
So if I say sort of 80, 120, does that surprise you?
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah.
And then some shooting interest. These are called a powder flask. Is that what you would call it?
Yes.
Right.
And the idea is that the days of the old musket guns, you'd have your gunpowder in here. And of course, you'd pour it down. I think we went straight down the barrel, didn't you? The gun.
Yes.
They're usually brass or copper. Sometimes you find them with nice designs. This one's a brass one. You've also got a leather one. And also, in this little lot, I've put this. And now, this is, you know what this is?
It's a bullet mould, brass bullet mould.
A brass bullet mould, so you'd make your own bullets.
But that was an item I dug up in my parents' garden when we were clearing some hedges and things once.
Well, these do create quite a bit of interest when they come to auction. Things from a bygone era, really.
Yeah.
When if I said it's sort of 30 to 50 as a lot on that, does that sound all right to you?
Yes, that sounds fine.
Now, these are your trains, Andrea. I know that much on your football set.
Hardly.
Yeah. Now, these are great, though. Were these bought deliberately to sell on, then? Or did you buy
These
them?
were bought to sell on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trains are always collectible. These are in relatively good condition. I mean, they were patented in 1969. I think they're a little bit later. But they are nice, good tin plate toys. And, of course, we've got 2 football games here as well. Are you a football fan?
No, I'm a rugby fan.
All right, okay. I think you've been trying to play rugby with that one.
Paul has picked out some interesting finds among the stash in Patrick's shed, and the items going to auction are the set of postcards estimated to sell for between £80 and £100, the powder flask and bullet mould estimated to sell for between £30 and £50, the set of toys including the tin plate trains and football game, which should sell for between £40 and £50. Also going to auction are a set of Victorian magic lantern plates estimated at between £30 and £50. The collection of paintings including the etching of Doon Castle, which should also go for between £30 and £50. And the newspaper prints of the cartoons, which should fetch between £30 and £50. And Paul has found a huge collection of cigarette and trading cards, which he thinks needs closer inspection.
So I think what we need to do with those is to find a specialist, someone who does nothing but sort of ephemeral items, things like cigarette cards.
Yes.
Let them go through them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that sound all right to you?
That sounds fine.
Patrick and Andrea are on their way to see Ian Laker. Ian's been buying and selling cigarette cards around the world for almost 40 years.
I had a quick look at them, and they span about 80 years.
Oh, really?
You've got a vast variety of ages and subjects and so on. One of the earliest cards you've got here is this Ogden's Guinea Gold card, which dates from about 1900.
Yes.
They produced something like 27,000 of those between 1897 and 1907. They haven't got much value, although they're over 100 years old, because they produce such large quantities of them. We've got a box full of Brook Bond tea cards, which is extremely popular. They issued these in the millions.
Placing themed information cards inside packets of cigarettes is an American phenomenon. They were introduced in 1875. UK tobacco companies later started producing their version of the cards. As part of the war effort, UK tobacco companies stopped producing cards in order to save paper. If you want to learn more about cigarette cards, the London Cigarette Card Company catalogue is a good place to start.
How important is the condition of the cards to a collector?
Condition makes a lot of difference for the value. When you put the cards together there, you can see that they're supposed to be whitish on the side, and therefore you can tell before you actually go through the cards that they're not in very good condition, which makes the difference of value a tremendous amount. Again, a set of these, this is Do You Know, third series, issued about 1925, in top condition is about £30. In this condition, you would probably say £4 to £6.
Right.
Okay. Can you show us an example of a cigarette card in absolute top mint condition?
These are a Brook Bond Olympic Challenge in 1992, so this is 21 years old. You can see it's white as any. That's virtually untouched.
Almost as if they've come out of the box.
Yeah.
So, would you be interested in buying our collection off of us, Ian?
We wouldn't be interested in buying them because of the general condition of the cards. But if you took them to an auction house or a second-hand shop and everything, you could look between, £25, £75 for the lot. It's a general collection that someone might be wanting to start their collection off. It'd be marvellous for them.
Right.
I think I'd like to sell them separately, in groups. I think on Ian's advice, it's given me a lot more information, and I can start to arrange how I'm going to sell them.
Patrick has made great headway with his clutter. It's now time to see if his items can make a stash of cash at auction.
160, are we done?
You excited?
Very excited.
Are you?
Excited, yeah.
So do you think you're ready to let go of all this stuff?
Oh, definitely. I think I'm just intrigued to see what it's going to fetch now.
And do you have a plan for the money?
I have a small vineyard on the hillside.
Excuse me?
And I want to bring that back into production.
Exotic. That is lovely. So fingers crossed you make some money today. We'll drink to that, won't we?
We certainly will.
Definitely.
But before we start, let's hear what auctioneer Matthew Caddick has to say about Patrick's lots.
Patrick has presented us with an interesting mix of items, the sort of thing we would typically see coming through the auction, and therefore I'd expect he'll have buyers today. Generally, it's a good little lot. In amongst Patrick's items, there's a huge collection of postcards. A lot of them are modern, but there's a lot for the money, and we tend to have very strong postcard buyers, so I expect they'll sell well today. Both of the picture lots, the newspaper prints and the 3 pictures in a lot, they're moderately priced, but to be honest, even at that money, they may struggle. Hopefully I've got a bit of flexibility to sell those a bit cheaper on the day. I think we may need it.
The first item under Matthew's hammer is the set of Victorian magic lantern slides, estimated at between £30 and £50.
How are you feeling? Nervous?
Excited.
Nervous, excited.
£30 start me. No bids of £30, I'm going to move on from this lot. Then if there's no bids of £30, I'll pass it. Then no bids, £30 on bid at 2, I'll take.
Somebody done
Have £30 in the room. Are we done at £30 then, all out?
Seem to be sold. You happy with that?
Yeah.
The Victorian slides go for their lower estimate £30. Next up is a set of toys including the trains and football game, estimated at between £40 and £50.
It's a bit of fun, isn't it? £30 take 5, 35 there, 40, 5, 50, 5. At £50, the ladies bid take 5 now at 50. I think we found it, haven't we? At £50 selling.
Really good. The bidders wanted to play ball with this lot. The powder flask and bullet mould is next, estimated at £30 to £50.
At £30, 35, 45. You're still with me at £40, I'll take 5 now, £40. It's a cheap lot and goes at £40 then.
Happy?
Done.
Good.
They go off with a bang at a respectable £40. Patrick also sold the set of paintings, including the etching of Doon Castle, for £20. And the newspaper print of cartoons for £10. The final lot under the hammer is the collection of postcards and cigarette cards.
and I'm starting with me at £65. I've got £75. I'll take 80 in the room. 80 there, 5, 90, 5, 100. 110's here, 120. It's a lot. 130 on the internet, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210. Thanks for the bid. At £210 on the internet, take 220 now at 210. It's a lot for the money at £210. Are we done?
210. Big smile.
Sold for more than double the top estimate.
Well, wasn't that exciting, particularly when the postcards came up?
Yes.
That just went on and on and on and on. There was such a lot of interest in them, wasn't there? In the end, £210. Astonishing.
Just goes to prove you don't know what things are worth until you research it or
That's
put them
right.
into an auction.
It's all about the market.
Yes.
That's right.
Amazing.
Patrick had a great day at the auction, selling all his items and walking away with £331 after commission. Because he also sold the pine doors to the salvage yard, Patrick is now £361 richer and he's cleared out his shed.
How does it feel to get rid of some of it?
Well, I think my comment the other day was liberated, and I think I can confirm that.
Andrea, do you feel the same?
Since all of the items were Patrick's, I haven't really had you know, that emotional attachment to them. But I can see it in Patrick. I can see that he feels relieved.
Excellent, excellent. So it's onward and upward, isn't it?
Onward and upward.
It's been a real success story. Let's hope Patrick and his shed can stay away from auctions. And with Andrea by his side, I think he will.
Our hoarders are well on their way to becoming clutter-free. They've created some much-needed space and raised some cash. Join me, Aggie Mackenzie, next time on Storage Hoarders.
Coming up, back to Sri Lanka on Barking in Essex, Downton Abbey's Mrs Hughes, that's Phyllis Logan with all the below-stairs gossip, and Impressionist John Colshaw, that's 80, next.